Young Africans needed the last minutes of their match against Ahly to draw their first points in Group D. Petro de Luanda are the only team with a perfect start in this year's edition CAF Champions League group stages. I'm talking about match day 2. They won their second game against Etoile de Sahel in Tunisia. Someone please awaken Wydad Casablanca from their trauma of losing against Mamelodi Sundowns. It appears as if these guys have not recovered. Wydad Casablanca, wake up. It's already match day 2. This weekend we're going to match day 3. You are yet to score your first goal and you've lost the 2 games you have played. Mamelodi Sundowns comes back from Lubumbashi with nothing after a defeat against the Giants of DRC. We have to applaud the one club we all thought was going to be trailing amongst the Giants they are against in Group C and in Group B. I'm talking about Jwaneng Galaxy. They've won 1, drawn 1. They haven't conceded any goal. So far, so good for the boys from Botswana. And definitely on this episode, we will be discussing a lot in that Group A, which appears to be the group of death. Thank you. If you're seeing my face and this content for the first time, I go by the name of Oscar Ntsinzi Football, where I discuss anything to do with football from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. One thing about CAF Champions League, it's an open secret that it has been dominated by North Africans for years. And in this year's edition, out of the 16 teams we have in the 4 groups, 6 clubs are from North Africa. We have 2 from Egypt, Ahly, Pyramid FC. We have 2 from Tunisia, Esperance and Etoile de Sahel. And then we have 1 from Morocco, Wydad Casablanca. And then we have another one from Algeria in CR Belouizdad. It's going to be interesting because only 2 teams qualify from each group for the quarterfinals, meaning only 8 can make it to the next level. It's going to be interesting out of those 6 clubs, who will make it to the last 8. Because so far, it appears as if Etoile de Sahel is struggling and Wydad, we don't know. Maybe something will happen in the next 4 matches. I'm not sure. But the match day 3, they definitely have to draw some points. They definitely have to win their home game. They're playing their 3rd game against Simba, who too have not won any game. They've played 2, they've drawn 2. Drew their first game against Asec Mimosa at home and drew against Jwaneng Galaxy away. So I'm for other teams outside North Africa really making it to the last 8. So far, so good for the club of the century in Ahly. They're leading their group. They've played 2, won 1, drawn 1. In fact, Pesitao scored in the last minutes of that game, and Yanga equalized in the dying minutes of in the same game. So they could have really won that game, Ahly, to make it a perfect start, just like Petro de Luanda in Group C. But so far, so good for the club of the century, the defending champions. So far, it appears as if they are the only ones who really can actually write their name in the next stage, because the 3rd game they'll be playing at home. Group C, where there's 2 Tunisians, we actually all thought that Esperance will be leading that group, but Petro de Luanda are showing signs of some seriousness in this year's edition. But obviously, we all know group stages are different from knockout stages. But so far, so good for Petro de Luanda of Angola. They're leading that group, having won 2 from 2. Esperance played 2, lost 1, won 1. Today's Etoile de Sahel, they haven't won anything. They are in last position in that group. And Hilal of Sudan, shocking result there. We didn't expect. The best we could have all predicted was probably a draw between Esperance and Al Hilal. but it appears as if everyone in this year's edition is really taking their home games serious. So Ahly won their home game against Esperance, drawing their first points in the group. So far, it's 6 points for Petro, 3 for Al Hilal, 3 for Esperance, and Sahel, 0. Group B, which is one group we all thought that Wydad was going to be leading at this point comfortably, but they are yet to score a goal and they've lost the 2 games they have played. Lost their first game against Jwaneng Galaxy last week, lost their second game against Asec Mimosa in Cote d'Ivoire. I'm happy for the Ivorians. I'm actually happy for any club outside North Africa, because I think we all want, as Africans, we all want a competition for the North Africans. It can't just be Mamelodi Sundowns or Petro de Luanda, but it must come from everywhere. And it's good to see that Asec Mimosa, they're taking this serious. And as much as Simba haven't won any game, but at least they've got 2 points. It's going to be interesting how Wydad plays against Simba at home this coming weekend. And obviously, the group of death must be Group A. Mamelodi Sundowns, Nouadhibou, however you pronounce it, the Mauritania club, Pyramid FC, and the Giants of TP Mazembe. Everyone in this group have won their home games. And everyone in this group have lost their away games. I didn't see Pyramid FC losing against that club. But as things stand, that club has won. I'm talking about Nouadhibou, have won against Pyramid FC 2-0 at home for Nouadhibou. So 3 points for everyone in this group. Mamelodi Sundowns, to be honest, they had no business in losing that game in Lubumbashi. I watched the game, and Mamelodi Sundowns can't blame anyone here but themselves. They wasted chances. I think they hit the crossbar 3 times, if not 4 times. And the one chance that TP Mazembe had, they buried the chance. And that's how things are in African football, in CAF Champions League, CAF Confederations Cup. If you don't bury your chances, no matter how you've dominated the other team for 90 minutes, no matter how beautiful you played, it doesn't matter. But if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, you will come back crying. And Mamelodi Sundowns have come back home with nothing. And their next game, they're playing against Pyramid FC. They're playing at home. TP Mazembe, I believe they're probably going away to Nouadhibou of Mauritania. It's going to be interesting to see how the home teams will play this one. But CAF Champions League is on. It's fire. If you're not watching CAF Champions League in Africa and you're African, I don't know what you're doing with your life if you love football. And this year's edition is definitely better than last year's edition. There's no one club that is a standout. Everyone is really competing. I'm not sure. It's probably the prize money that's been increased. I don't know. But this is what we all want to see in African football. And my desire and my wish is to see probably maybe Al Ahly and let's say Esperance making it to the last 4. I mean, making it to the last 8, or maybe 3. Al Ahly, Wydad, and Esperance making it to the last 8, and other 5 clubs from somewhere else, but not Africa. And so that we can see if these other 5 clubs will make it to the semis and eventually the final. It's going to be nice to see any other winner outside North Africa. So far, so good, and it's not done yet. It's too early. 4 games to go. The coming weekend, it's match day 3. And it's going to be interesting to see the approach of Wydad Casablanca, the approach of Etoile, the Sahel of Tunisia, yet to have points in the group. It's going to be interesting how Jwaneng plays away their 3rd game Are they going to be approaching it with that that defensive mindedness and just play on the counter? It has worked for them. We'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be a great achievement if Jwaneng Galaxy makes it to the last 8 of this competition. Well, I think I've broken down what was necessary in this episode, talking about the group of death in Group A, and just breaking down all the other points and results of the other groups. I don't know. What do you wish? What do you desire? What's been interesting for you in the first 2 games of this year's edition of CAF Champions League? Come on, guys, from Tanzania, Yanga, Simba, please, man, do something, fight it out. It cannot be that every season you're just playing group stages and only making it to the quarterfinals and thereafter nothing. Yanga, you are the champions of Tanzania. Make it show. Your 3rd game, you'll be playing it away. We'll have to wait and see how you approach that one. But Yanga and Simba really need to be in the quarterfinals of this year's edition. Yes, if you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Do subscribe. Follow the brother. Hit that like button. Share with your friends. Share with the community that loves football in Africa. And I'm planning also to do an episode on something I've seen in Tanzania. But yeah, do subscribe, and thank you for staying this long. May my God bless you all.